Here's the problem with most business coaches and most business coaching programs. And I'm not throwing anybody else under the bus because I think I've struggled with this too in the past. Most programs out there are about trying to fit you into a box. And the truth is, the box works for some people. Usually on some level it works for the person who's actually selling the box, but it doesn't really work for everyone. And the truth is, when it comes to business growth, there are so many different ways up the mountaintop. But what I know for sure is that the right way for you is going to be wildly different from the way that's going to work for somebody else who's wired differently. And if you're a super intuitive person and entrepreneur, the idea of fitting yourself into a rigid content plan, selling one offer, and having a super hyper defined niche where you got to show up every day and basically talk about the same thing and run some evergreen program for years, probably going to feel like a prison. But for someone who's an intellectual consciousness, who needs that rigidity and who values and appreciates that rigidity, that might be the perfect model. For someone who serves a certain type of client in a certain way, one form of marketing or one form of content creation might make a whole lot of sense, but for someone else, different niche, it doesn't make sense. So the more I've done this work with 900 plus coaches at this point, and thousands of others through our community and different programs, different free communities and things like that. What I found is that there isn't a rule. and the problem comes when you try to create the rules and the boxes, and then they work for some people, but other people it just feels like this is a prison. If you've ever been through a business coaching program where you were just fit into the same box as everybody else and you wonder why it felt like crap, that might have been why. So I think the message here is to find your own flow, to find your own alignment. And in your mentorship, if you are working with mentors, which I would highly recommend, it's been helpful for me. It's not that we don't seek mentorship, it's that you find someone who can help you find your own alignment, and someone who is not just going to fit you into a box.